Hello everyone, welcome to my channel SW Metro official channel. Christine Brown provides a promising update regarding Kody's interactions with kids, signs of a stronger bond. Christine Brown remains hopeful that Kody and their children will reunite. She is still hopeful that their equation would improve. The Sister Wives star hinted to her fans that things might get better in the future. Christine stayed in a loveless marriage only for her kids' sake. However, it hurt her to observe her husband's disregard for their children and preference for his other children. Christine decided to protect herself and her kids from the emotional trauma. Kody initially struggled to accept his 3 back-to-back breakups. However, in season 20, he is attempting to apologize for his errors. Can he rebuild his relationship with his children? What does Christine think about it? Christine thinks Kody isn't really an awful person. Christine Brown never hesitated to throw shade at her ex, Kody Brown, and make jabs at him. She bashed him on social media multiple times and grilled him for his toxic behavior through her savage responses. But the Sister Wives star seems to have a change of heart. Christine took a U-turn after calling Kody a terrible father for years. She now feels that he isn't really an awful person. Christine discusses Kody's interactions with children openly. Christine Brown's children and Kody's poor relationship were always heartbreaking. She shared how her ex failed to fulfill his duties as a father to his children. But the TLC stars still seem to have a little hope for things to improve between them. Recently, Christine revealed that Kody has been working on a strained bond with his children. She thinks it is an ongoing story and things will change in a matter of time. The Sister Wives celeb stated, "But I do believe that Kody is a good person, and I think that things are going to be better." Brown acknowledged the fact that there are too many issues between them, and it is a long battle. She explained that Kody and their kids said a lot of things about each other that they shouldn't have. But it's a natural part of life, and things will take time to fall in place. The reality TV personality shared that her ex didn't have a great relationship with her children. However, Christine also promised her kids that their dad still loves them. Sadly, her kids stopped believing when they saw that Kody preferred other kids over them and made no effort to spend time with them. On the premiere of season 20, Mary participates in speed dating. This time, Mary Brown is ready to laugh her way into a new chapter as she officially moves on. After decades of living in the shadows of plural marriage, the Sister Wives star is putting herself back in the dating pool, and fans will see it unfold in the season 20 premiere this Sunday. The 54-year-old TLC personality has admitted that she is finally looking for something that is truly her. She and Kody Brown ended their long and complicated relationship in 2023 and split up. She wants a partner who gets her quirks, respects her independence, and, most importantly, embraces her infamous snort laugh. While Mary has made peace with the end of her marriage and distanced herself from Christine Brown's ongoing drama, she's not giving up on finding love. Instead, she's stepping outside her comfort zone with speed dating. For Mary, it's not about rushing into a new commitment but rather testing the waters and opening herself to new experiences. Is Mary Brown getting married again? After photos of Mary Brown in a white gown and a man in a tuxedo were posted to Facebook, rumors of her second marriage quickly spread. Fans questioned if the Sister Wives star had secretly tied the knot. But the truth is simpler. The photos were not real but AI generated. Mary never walked down the aisle again, and she confirmed she has no wedding plans. Mary Brown starts a new relationship. Mary Brown is back in the dating scene and knows exactly what she wants. She's not chasing perfection, but she's firm about the qualities that matter: kindness, confidence, humor, and someone tall with kind eyes. Most importantly, her prospective partner needs to accept her well-known snort and laugh. Mary is now using her quirks as a filter rather than hiding them. If a man can't handle her authentic self, he simply isn't her person. Her clarity comes after lessons learned the hard way. In early 2024, Mary dated Amos Andrews, but the relationship collapsed when troubling details about him came to light. Instead of seeing the breakup as a failure, she framed it as growth. Mary made it clear that the experience taught her courage, self-worth, and how important it is to stay true to herself. She became more aware of what she wants as a result of that brief relationship. Of course, Mary knows her past plays a role in how potential partners view her. Coming from a plural marriage often makes men hesitate, assuming she wants to continue that lifestyle. Mary pushes back on those misconceptions, determined to show she's charting a very different path. Mary stated that she no longer finds polygamy appealing. Christine's courtroom testimony shook the very foundation of the Brown family legacy, because it wasn't just another chapter in the endless cycle of drama, jealousy, and suspicion that has characterized the sister-wives universe for over a decade. It was the raw, painful truth of a woman who had sacrificed everything for her family, only to discover that the man she once trusted, loved, and devoted years of her life to had allegedly hidden millions of dollars while their child's life was hanging in the balance. And as Christine recounted every chilling detail under oath, it was impossible not to see the heartbreak etched into her voice as she revealed that while she was begging, pleading, and scraping together money to pay for her daughter's critical surgery, Kody was quietly stashing away over $7 million in hidden accounts, investments, and assets, money that could have saved her family from the kind of financial ruin and emotional torment that no mother should ever have to endure. And Christine didn't just tell her story like someone bitterly rehashing old wounds, she testified like a mother whose greatest regret was believing in the illusion of trust and partnership with a man who had systematically undermined her, gaslit her, and prioritized his own control and ego over the very real health crisis of their daughter, because according to her sworn statements, when she reached out to Kody to ask how they could possibly afford the specialized care their daughter desperately required, Kody gave her excuses, vague promises, and endless deflections, at times even suggesting that perhaps the surgery wasn't necessary right away or that she should look into loans, crowdfunding, or even church charity programs, while all along, as Christine's testimony suggested, he had money quietly tucked away in undisclosed business ventures and land funds that she only learned about later, through leaked documents, whispers from insiders, and finally, the shocking disclosures that came to light in pretrial discovery. And the most devastating part of her account wasn't just the accusation of hidden millions, it was the implication that Kody, who had always framed himself as a man of faith, a devoted father, and a leader of a large and complicated family, had willfully chosen secrecy over transparency, control over compassion, and pride over love, because when a child's life is on the line, no amount of religious doctrine, marital conflict, or financial wrangling should ever take precedence. And yet Christine claimed that was exactly what happened, because while she was lying awake at night worrying about medical bills, insurance battles, and the logistics of travel to a specialized hospital, Kody was allegedly funneling money into real estate schemes, joint accounts with Robin, and even investments tied to Coyote Pass, ensuring that his empire was insulated and protected while his daughter's health needs were pushed to the margins, and the courtroom was silent as Christine described the emotional toll this betrayal took on her, not just as a wife who had trusted her husband, but as a mother who had to explain to her daughter why they couldn't get the surgery scheduled right away, why bills were piling up, and why her pleas for help to her father seemed to go unanswered. And what made her words even more gut-wrenching was the clarity with which she painted Kody's pattern of behavior, a man who had always been quick to project blame, quick to accuse others of disloyalty or selfishness, and yet behind closed doors was making decisions that not only fractured his marriages but jeopardized his children's futures. And Christine's testimony went further, suggesting that this wasn't a one-time lapse or a misunderstanding about funds, it was part of a larger pattern of financial deception, a web of hidden accounts and shell companies that Kody used to keep control of the family's assets, often with Robin's knowledge or involvement, while leaving the other wives in the dark, forced to beg for scraps or work second jobs to support their own children. And this revelation cracked open a new dimension of the Brown family saga, because it reframed years of tension not as the inevitable fallout of polygamy or personality clashes, but as the direct consequence of one man hoarding power and money while spinning narratives that made his wives seem unstable, ungrateful, or rebellious, when in fact they were simply trying to survive. And Christine, in her testimony, laid bare the emotional manipulation she endured, recalling moments when Kody told her she was overreacting or not being faithful enough by questioning the family finances, as though asking where the money was going was somehow a betrayal of the marriage or the covenant. And hearing her recount these moments in court, it was impossible not to see the gaslighting at play, a tactic that kept her doubting herself, blaming herself, and silencing her instincts even as her child's health was deteriorating, and yet Christine's testimony wasn't delivered with rage or theatrics. It was spoken with the quiet strength of a woman who had finally shed the chains of fear and was determined to tell the truth, no matter how ugly, because she understood that her story wasn't just about her, it was about every other woman who had been silenced, minimized, or controlled in the name of love, faith, or family. And as she spoke about the $7 million, the courtroom buzzed with reporters scribbling notes, attorneys exchanging glances, and even Kody himself shifting uncomfortably, because no matter how much he had prepared for this trial, nothing could erase the power of a mother's truth, and Christine made sure to emphasize that this wasn't about vengeance or greed. She wasn't testifying to punish Kody financially, she was testifying to make sure that the truth was known, that no child should ever have to suffer because of a father's lies, and no mother should ever be left in the dark about the resources that could have saved her family. And in those moments, Christine transformed from a reality TV star into something much larger, a symbol of resilience, a voice for mothers everywhere who have been betrayed by the very people they trusted most. And as she concluded her testimony with the haunting words, "Kody hid $7 million while my daughter needed surgery," the weight of that sentence lingered like a gavel strike, echoing beyond the courtroom walls and into the hearts of everyone who had ever followed the sister-wives story, because it reframed the entire saga not as entertainment, but as a cautionary tale of betrayal, secrecy, and the devastating cost of misplaced trust.